Today I'm going to be trying something new and I'm going to be talking about WandaVision. So I've always been like obsessed with Marvel. Growing up, my dad took me to see Iron Man movie, but I've always been more of like an X-Men like fan. I grew up loving Spider-Man because of my dad. Like Spider-Man has such a like deep place in my heart because I grew up like loving him. I've seen every single Spider-Man movie. I remember there was one time my dad sold our Spider-Man DVDs and my heart was broken. I remember being so upset with my dad because he sold them. Like I have such a deep attachment to Spider-Man. And then my granddad, he was like really in love with comic books, so he loved X-Men. So of course I grew up like loving X-Men because of my granddad. And like I loved like the First Class and Days of Future Past and Apocalypse. I've never seen the Dark Phoenix, but I've just like I was always more obsessed with X-Men than I was the Avengers. And like obviously I love the Spider-Man in like the Avengers universe, and I loved Black Panther. Like I was so obsessed with Black Panther, and I had seen all the Avengers movies, but I wasn't like obsessed. But recently, since WandaVision, like I've become so obsessed. Me and my brother Daniel, we watched all of the Marvel movies in order and like timeline order, and that was so much fun. I watched Captain Marvel for the first time and I watched Endgame for the first time. They were both amazing. I'm also a big fan of DC as well, but I'm a bigger fan of Marvel just because I think that the way that Marvel writes their shows is so genius. Like DC is great, but I feel like if DC put in the amount of work that Marvel put into it, like even Marvel's TV shows, like I love Marvel TV shows, The Runaways, The Gifted, Cloak and Dagger, they were all great. Yeah, so WandaVision really opened my eyes to loving like the Avengers, because I love Doctor Strange and Black Panther and Far From Home Spider-Man or Homecoming Spider-Man. Like I loved all of those, but like when it came to the Avengers, I was like whatever. But I recently like love the Avengers now, so we're just gonna talk about WandaVision. So if you like this video, let me know so I can do a video where I discuss the ending of WandaVision, and maybe I'll do one for the Falcon and Winter Soldier because I'm obsessed with Bucky right now. So if you guys want to see that, let me know, because I'll do like a TV show reaction of that. And then also I wanted to do more TV show, like not reactions but just talking about TV shows. So if you guys want me to do one for TV shows, I can, because I love media. I love books, I love movies, I love TV shows. They're just my favorite things to talk about. But anyways, on to WandaVision. So this one is gonna have a spoiler, so if you haven't caught up with WandaVision or if you haven't watched, I highly suggest just like leaving the video. And also if you're here and you're wondering if you should watch WandaVision even though you haven't seen any of the Marvel movies, I would say yes, but a lot of the things will fly over your head if you haven't seen the Marvel movies. But if you're interested in seeing the Marvel movies, I would say watch them. I would highly recommend watching the Marvel movies before watching WandaVision. Like you'll get it, but a lot of stuff will just go over your head that you wouldn't understand. So WandaVision is great. Like the fact that like the first 2 episodes are pretty meh, or the first 2 or 3 episodes are pretty meh, but then once you get to a certain episode, you're hooked. And then Marvel is evil because they leave you off on these terrible cliffhangers. I'm the kind of person where I can do cliffhangers. Like cliffhangers are fine by me. I'll just like forget about the show for a week and come back the next week and I'll be great. These WandaVision cliffhangers are the worst things ever, okay? I really had to wait until another Friday. I don't know, WandaVision is just so fun because then there's so many people having these theories everywhere. The theories I've seen are absolutely terrible. I've seen some really terrible theories. Like I made a TikTok about it, but some of these theories are like things that like are very obvious that like it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. As I mentioned earlier, I love X-Men, so I love Quicksilver. Like Quicksilver was my favorite X-Men. Quicksilver, Hobok, Jubilee, Psylocke, Beast. I love Beast. That is my bae. So Evan Peters shows up as Quicksilver, and at first I was like, oh, this will be like a good way to introduce the multiverse, because you can tell that phase 4 of the Marvel is gonna be dealing with multiverses. Like it's very evident. So I was like, oh, this would be like a good way to introduce multiverses. But now I'm starting to think that Disney just made Evan Peters Quicksilver just to be evil. Like they really didn't have a point to it. I think they just did it just to do it, and then they're like, all right, whatever. It will be amazing if it was the X-Men's Quicksilver, and like, spoilers for episode 7 if you haven't seen it, but if Agatha, who is Agnes, oh my gosh, first of all, I'm in love with her. Thanos has nothing on Agatha. Agatha has the time to be evil, trick Wanda along with people, come up with a theme song, all while looking good. She's an amazing villain. I'm sorry. She's a great, the theme song, Agatha all along, genius, absolutely genius. So I think that Agatha could have just was like, went to a different universe, was like, oh, here's Quicksilver, let me take him, and then brought him into WandaVision. But it could, I really also just think it's just Disney just being like, haha, like, this would be funny, you know. It would be great, but because it would be great to introduce the X-Men to a Marvel universe, especially because Fantastic Four is already going to be introduced, and then Deadpool is going to be a part of Phase 4, I believe. So Phase 4 or Phase 5. But I heard that X-Men won't even be introduced until Phase 5, so who knows. Yeah, it's just so many great things, like the twins. I used to read Young Avengers, so there's Tommy and Billy, who are Speed and Wiccan, and I really hope that the twins, like, because the twins age up a lot in the show, so I really hope the twins age up, because Kate Bishop, who's also in Young Avengers, is gonna be in here. She's gonna be in Hawkeye. She's gonna have her own show, so I think it would be cool to have Speed and Wiccan, and then maybe Hulkling will come along, and then maybe America, and then like the Young Avengers will be formed, because I love Marvel teams. Like, I just read Thunderbolt, and that was really, really good, and I really love like a Marvel like small team. So if Phase 4 could like introduce or start to introduce some other Marvel teams, that would be really, really cool. I want to know where the twins are. Like, what the heck, episode 7? Like, I hope the twins are okay. A lot of people think that Mephisto is gonna be in it, and I would think that would be cool, but I also don't think so, because apparently like China doesn't allow like devil stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that like Marvel gets away with China, so maybe they'll be able to. But a lot of people are like, there's a lot of like there will and there won't. And then Reed Richards, I thought Reed Richards was going to be introduced in episode 7. Kind of hurt that because I love Fantastic Four. Also, this is, I'm talking about like WandaVision, but Marvel. I'm talking about a lot here, but also I got this Marvel encyclopedia. So if you are someone who doesn't really read the comic books, but you want to know a lot about like characters or just information, I would say getting the Marvel encyclopedia, because not only does it tell you about characters, but it tells you about comic issues, like it tells you about the comic books, and it tells you about like even the big wars that they had going on in the comic books. So the encyclopedia teaches you a lot. It's like $27, I think, $24. I don't know, it's not like super expensive, but it's not like really cheap either. But if you can afford it, I would, and you're a Marvel fan but you're not one who wants to read like the comic books, I would highly suggest getting it so you can like brush up on some information. Anyways, I'm so excited like to see where WandaVision ends. I think it'll end with, I don't know, I'm not really thinking too much about how it ends, because I like just going into the episodes not knowing much. I also find it really interesting, like my favorite thing to do with WandaVision though is to watch the commercials and like try to see what the commercials have to do with the episode. Favorite commercial was episode 6 commercial, where the commercial was literally telling you that everyone in the WandaVision or Westview was starving. Also, side note, I got these 2 Funko Pops. I have Wanda and Vision. I have Halloween Wanda and then Working Vision, because I don't think they had, I think Halloween Vision was too much money, and I didn't really like the other Wandas that they had. They had the like the black and white one and then the pregnant one, and I didn't hate them, but I just love episode 6 is my episode 6 and 7, like they're really good. I can't tell you what my favorite episodes are. I think I'm gonna get a Quicksilver Funko Pop and then a Tommy and Billy Funko Pop. And also there was a post-credit scene at the end of episode 7. The credits are like 7 minutes, so I'll just be like, oh yeah, I'll just sit here, I'll just be on my phone, and I'll wait for something, and it will never pop up. So then I would do it the next week, and then it'll never pop up, so then I'll do it the next week, and then the week where I find like, okay, they're not gonna do it, so I'm just gonna stop wasting my time. The one time I finally am like, okay, they're not gonna do it, they do it. So I have to go on YouTube and watch that, and that was also pretty interesting. So Quicksilver is still there, and he's definitely being controlled by Agatha, because then Monica got her powers. I'm so excited for Monica Rambeau. Like, you guys do not understand. I I think WandaVision is great, and I'm like so obsessed with it. And me and my brother watch it every Friday at 3 a.m. because it comes out at 3 a.m. for us. And I like bake us cookies and we watch it together, and it's so great. And then I go to work and I talk to my coworkers about it, and I try to convince as many coworkers as I can to watch it. But personally for me, I'm enjoying watching the episodes as they come out because I feel like a little kid again, like watching like Disney Channel and waiting for like every Saturday. Well, no, shows don't come on Saturday. Every like Friday and Sunday where shows would come out, and I would just sit there and wait every week, and I would just be like my best part of the week. And the episode would be like 30 minutes long, and then it would go off, and I'll be like, dang. Anyway, see y'all guys next week. I don't know, I just really love it, and it's just like, it's keeping me happy right now, I'm not gonna lie. And it's just, it's keeping me busy because I am not going through a lot, but like I'm just really stressed right now and sad about boys. And it's keeping me distracted. So like I've just been reading a lot of Marvel comics, trying to brush up on like my information, but I'm also getting back into reading X-Men because when I would read comics, I would only read X-Men comics. I never read like Avenger comics. Don't know what the last 2 episodes are going to be. I really hope they bring in Reed Richards. I think this would be a great way to introduce Fantastic Four, but who knows. I hope that Quicksilver Pietro shows up again. So happy Darcy finally got cast into her favorite show, and it's just really fun just watching this. And like the memes are absolutely hilarious. The theories on TikTok, honestly, the theories on TikTok are so outrageous that it's entertaining. Like somebody said that Pietro was Mephisto because he had devil horns in episode 6 when everyone was literally just dressed up as their comic book character, and his hair is like that because he runs so fast. I'm like, okay, that's an outrageous theory. Like I've just seen some insane theories, or theories that are just like, duh. I think that this is it for this video. If you want to see me talk about the last 2 episodes and like my final thoughts of WandaVision, I would love to. If you guys want to see me talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I would love to. I would love to talk about TV shows more, so please let me know if you like this, because I love TV shows, I love movies, and I want to introduce that more on my channel. And thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.